All right. We've got some more Endless Dark today, starting in on our third story arc. We're gonna go Annie as the start this time. But yes. Let's go ahead and jump on in. Act 3. All right, we want better odds of deep lore. We like the overclock extension. Avoiding EMP storms if navigation is overclocked is nice. Installing a module generates 3 psychosis. Start with 2 additional random modules. We can build a chatbot simulator when we go in. Let's go ahead. I think these are pretty good. Being able to dodge a full weather event is just... it's just too good. Take stress dampening off, and we are going to jump right in. MC44 subroutine manufacturing schema are restricted. Do you hear the music? Open doors. Every door will stay open. Closing a door generates 20 fatigue. And this is going to be permanent. Okay, noted. Okay, first things first. All right, we have an interesting weather setup. Wow, we started with so many systems overclocked. Replicator being broken at the start, though, that sucks. Let's go ahead and fix that. Repair. Nice. Let's go ahead and reveal one of the faults. Doors open and close randomly. That might actually be helpful. All right, let's go fire the incinerator, and then we will eepy skeegee. Since we have this open area at the start, we can kind of get a bunch of our early game stuff done fast. Trying to salvage as many parts as we can. Producing some of the modules we want. Okay, we have the radiation already made. We'll need the override protocols. We'll use that next turn to get the doors open that we don't want to, so we can get at to some of the other possible free parts we can get in the cycle. Go ahead and gaze outside and fish for our deep lore events. Gaze into the endless dark. All right, we need to do our self-improvement arc. Let's start that now because we have a lot of open area at the start. And then we need to check out our 10 passengers so we can make our prioritization list. All right, we've got Madeline Berg. Painter. All right, that's cool. A Parker HR specialist. All right, all right. A Maddox cashier, kind of an odd person. Blankenship. Oh ja, ist ein Blankenship. Substance abuse counselor. Okay. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. And who's number 5? Lawrence, electrician. All right, that's important. We like electricians. Yeah. We want someone good with the lecky. I almost wrote their name as electrician. Lawrence. Okay. All right. Madeline McHale. I think it's a second Madeline we've had. Hale. All right, what's the difference between an electrician and an electrical engineer? I wonder if an electrician is just like everything past mains power, whereas an electrical engineer would be more dealing with mains power. Like maybe building a power station would be electrical engineer, but... Dreamer, what did you spill? I'm gonna need you to clean that up, Dreamer. I am way too busy, taking stock of our passenger manifest to clean up whatever mess you just made. Wipe your shoes before you step into the ziggurat. Welcome on by. We got a Schroeder, not to be confused with the Schrodinger. They are a referee. Okay. What sport? Sorry, I tripped again. Bradford. Okay, well, we got our first. This person will die. Okay. Dental hygienist. Okay, that's kind of cool. Hygienist. Okay, and Sosa. Database engineer. Okay. Okay. DBA. All right. Let me go back to our terminal. No. 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 Stop it. I've been scanned. You fool. Dreamer. I'm all over the screen. All right. Bradford at number 8 will die. Make sure he doesn't live. Database engineer, cool. Electrical engineer, cool. Electrician, cool. Painter, cool. HR specialist can perish. Substance abuse counselor would be cool. We got a lot of people this cycle that we kind of don't want to let die. But it's nice that we do have 2 sacrificial lambs for events. There's a crypto enthusiast, and then the HR specialist are the two sacrificial people I'm seeing. Oh, that's right. We unlocked so many fucking modules. Shunts stress via a core dump when reaching new psychosis levels. I don't know what that means. 8 parts? Fuck. Oh, right. We can use this to prevent a passenger death per turn. We need so many dang parts, though. Greatly reduces fatigue gain. Honestly, I'm wondering, like, depending on how much this reduces, this may actually be really useful. Because a lot of the time we end up getting stress just because we finish maxing out our fatigue. I think I'll get that next turn. I'll make that next turn. Because we do have a full fatigue bar now. Alright, so end turn. C4-8. Custodian unit is prohibited from attempting to modify Array 3 Alpha Delta 4 Foxtrot in Etsy part pack .dat for any reason. NC76. Excess machine part manufacturing to be allocated for custodian recycling program. NC148. Vessel lighting system is to be kept in low power mode until less than 0.25 light years from destination. Clean up on Isle Annie. Who designed this ship anyway? Everywhere you look, there are spills, leaks, debris, and other messy stains. You might not have noticed, but your acute sense of where your reflection should be makes the lack of reflections around you more noticeable. That means you'll have to clean. You shouldn't have to do it. Ship should have automatic cleaners somewhere in the programming, since your time is generally considered more valuable. They appear to be on permanent vacation, however. Get the manual tools. Well, Maddox is not on our definitely kill list, so let's not perish them. We'll work with the auto clean protocols. You can't really be expected to do the messy work. You're the custodian, not the janitor. You do find references to cleaner mice and hardware schematics. However, their software images are corrupt and no longer fit on the given schematics. You doggedly code around the faults, feeling quite proud of each clever hack around each impossible problem. Then you realize that the ship ports to clean the cleaner mice are also absent. So you can clean the spills or clean the mice. You elect not to think about the whole thing. Let me see. Okay, we definitely need... Okay, before we do anything, we need to fix that breaker. Good. All right, let's make that part that reduces fatigue gain. Where was it? Chatbot simulator would also be good. Where was it? Not consensus protocols. No. There it is. Optimized idle loop. Uh-oh, I'm gonna sneeze. All right. right, so next turn we'll have that. Okay. We need to fix the pod, fix the shields. Clean the hazard. Okay. Our part situation's not looking good, but that's fine. Once we get into the other areas, we can worry about that. Okay. Let us gaze outside. Open the window! Gaze into the endless dark. Hey, we get machine parts. Perfect. And an insanity? That's actually very good. Many cycles of inadequate self-maintenance has led to disaster. Your internal filtration systems are detecting high levels of contamination in your coolant loop and erringly purging coolant at the most inopportune times. You try to rerun the functions to get them back in working order, but it's of no use. They're purging away. You can't hold it in anymore. When you gotta go, you gotta go. 25% chance of purging coolant. Oh, man. We got the robot shits. I don't want to make it permanent. It would have been nice to get our stress back down, but it is what it is. We gain a little bit of psychosis because of it. Put on nerve stapling to reduce that. End turn. MC 361. Custodian unit maintenance materials are to be kept separate from ship maintenance materials. Alright. Okay. Do a rolling reboot. Oh, man. Disable a random system for 1 turn. Actually, wait, I don't think I've read this event before. The ancillary computer cores in a few of the rooms are showing degraded performance. It's not, strictly speaking, a huge problem, but the persistent slowness is starting to affect your productivity. Maintenance manual urges you to ignore it until there's a real failure. However, during your review, you see there's manually added notes suggesting that turning computers off, then on again, can remedy problems like this. Oh, wait. Disable everything for 1 turn. I mean, it gets 10 stress off our back. Let's go ahead and do that. Finally, a simple solution. Turn it off and on again? That's brilliant! You feel a hot surge of excitement run through you as you send the reboot commands, delighted to have come across something easy for a change. You settle in comfortably, waiting for the systems to come back up. Far too long later, you are still waiting. When you query the ship, you find the deep integrity checks are being run on all systems. Oh, good. Okay. We need to repair. Permanent 10% chance to gain an insanity per turn. Ooh. That's actually good for us. You have to repair the ship first and foremost. Your damage won't matter if the ship breaks apart. You run diagnostics. You on diagnostics and repairs to errant. You've run diagnostics and repairs to the errant pressure systems. I'm not sure what that sentence is supposed to be. Turns out to be much more minor than you feared, but you belatedly realize you never gave yourself a proper diagnostic. When you do, your diagnostic depreciates the fractures and failings as minor, citing their age and proven inability to slow you down. They're imperfections. How can they be minor? How can your own systems betray you like this? True. Oh, that's navigation. Great. And I can't fix it, I believe. %25 reduced fatigue gain. I see. Okay, I can repair this. Good. But I can't shift my course. So I think we're flying into a radiation field, which is fine. Okay, we can't open the window. Got it. We need... Is it override protocols? Override protocols. Want to unlock these doors. We can get at the delicious, delicious computer parts within. So we got 3 here. There wasn't any in hydroponics usually. But in security, that's not the way to security. This is the way to security. Yeah. All right, so we open this one as well. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Okay, we're kind of striking out here. Here we go. Jackpot! Oh, we have got a lot of things to take apart over here. Oh, we made a mess. All right, we'll clean that up. All right, we'll take apart these computers so that we have some nice, delicious parts. Wait, did I not clean up all the hazards? I did not. All right, there we go. Now all the stinky should be gone. Okay. We've hit our limit. So let's go ahead and end this turn. Okay, I think it was a good call making the optimized idle loop. I think that's going to be really, really powerful. Why is engine... What's wrong with the engine? I'm gonna gain psychosis? Why? They weren't turned off, they were disabled. Which basically means we can't interact with them. MC346. Neural net therapy may not be performed when custodian unit is powered on. MC122. Custodian unit is prohibited from accessing thruster feed systems. MC42. Using electronic component manufacturing for bespoke bot subroutine installation is restricted. We already have this, so kind of a waste, but oh, are we getting that insanity for free permanently? You were a perfect creation, the prettiest of all time. You rein in a wave of anguish and frustration, imploding to keep your unseen tormentor from witnessing you the rotten fruits of their labor. You shove the wrench set firmly back in its place with a harsh clatter and spin around, eyes unseeing as you trundle forward. Too impatient to wait for the next door to open, you swing it at with a loud huff. It jerks wide on its strained hydraulics. You continue to glide through, denying how good that felt. The ship is getting in your way lately. A lot. Too much to do, and yet the ship itself is an obstacle. A floating rust bucket riddled with flaws, in constant need of repair, and no way to punish it for its misdeeds. You find yourself having little fits of anger at this prospect, none of which are threatening vital systems, but which are making it difficult for you to control your own servos. Last time you opened a door, you forced it so deep into the hole, it became stuck. And yet, it made you feel a little bit better. Okay, we need to fix the reactor. And we need to fix these damn circuit breakers again. Breaker closing. We also need to put on our radiation suit. Adjust course up. We need to get as much advancement as we can, because this latter half is going to be rough. I want to try and stay pretty far ahead. Oh, was power turned off? For the engine? Because, like, we didn't... How are we behind the tension wall? That's weird. Smash the door. Okay, we can take off the override protocols. Clean the hazard. I got a thing that makes me break doors. Hee hee. Okay, we need to repair this door. Oh, we broke that door too. Yeah, if I get the I need to close doors, I'm going to cry because I have a permanent psychosis, because Annie gets a permanent one at the start of the game. And the one I rolled means that I gain a bunch of fatigue whenever I close a door. So that'll be great. All right, 75%. I don't like that odd. We are just going to not overclock as much as I would like. Okay, we got a bunch of leaks and shields. I know Miku went through here. We need to reveal another fault. Hey, Bradford is one of the ones we're trying to kill. All systems have a 10%. Oh, yeah. Yeah, fuck that. Okay. Already got rid of the crypto enthusiast. Good job. Good job, everyone. Ooh, the sound of silence. All audio is muted. The tinny whine of your internal power coils and the low hum of the ship become dreary for your acoustic processors. The endless processing of useless audio data is just sapping your energy. After all, you have perfect fidelity of what repairs are needed in all other ship states, right? So, what purpose do your audio sensors provide? None. You will correct this waste of energy immediately. If you break doors, and then you gain fatigue if you close doors if you don't break. You get the I must close doors to be able... Yeah. Thankfully, the I must close, all it does is impose a reliability penalty, 1% per open door, which Still sucks. All right, so we're gonna make this permanent. Okay, I was afraid it would mute the audio. I have something that might work. All right. I need to turn the Spotify on. So we still have some atmospheric sounds. Do I have to? Yeah, I have to close and reopen StreamerBot. No, I want to enable all. Close. Reopen. Spotify. What is Spotify doing over there? Spotify, what did I do to you? I did not mean to click that. Okay. Okay, I've got an idea. Where is Spotify? Where is Spotify? We need to unlock this so that I can move it. Move it over here. I see. You know what? We're just gonna take the L and not fuck with it. All right. Spotify is not coming through because it's hidden. Right. Me hide that, maybe? That. That. I just realized I've been clicking and I did. Okay. Well, sorry about that. Anyway, gotta make sure we still have some atmospheric music for this game. So I think Cryo Chamber stuff is perfect. They are a label that focuses on dark ambiance. And therefore, I feel like it is quite appropriate for this game. Oh my god, there's so many leaks and shields. Miku, what have you done? Queen Hazard. Queen Hazard. Cleaning all the hazards, baby. Perfect. All right, let's gaze into the endless dark. I feel like building modules. Yeah, you and me too, Annie, but kind of not in a good way at the moment. Power on. Open window. Gaze into the endless dark. Ooh. Okay, reduced fatigue, which is good. That means we can go and salvage some more parts. Break more doors. Love that for me. Dismantle. Okay. Dismantle. Dismantle. And that's going to give me stress, so we're not going to stress about it. Okay. I might actually make the double parts production. Let me check on it next turn. MC65. After installation, externally facing material in cryo to be treated with antimicrobial foam. MC92. Custodian unit Fury 1-8 permitted to furnish rear security deck to containment specifications. MC231. Unit Annie 1 Alpha is prohibited from cultivating behavioral or abnormalities. Damn, Annie is not allowed to cultivate. How is she gonna ascend if she can't cultivate into the next? She's gotta have a breakthrough and challenge the heavens. The walls are closing in. Okay, that's gonna happen a lot with Annie. Okay, ignores 20 stress. That's right, we're doing good. Entropy. Pods lost overclocked. Why is so much shit breaking? What the fuck? What the fuck, game? All right. Oh, we gotta repair this fucking door. Okay, repair pod 4. Repair cryo. Clean this hazard up. Can I... All right, I can take parts from this. Might as well as do it now. Okay, navigation is just off. Let's repair shields. We can take that off. I broke the door! Oh my god, all these fucking broken doors. What is with this bullshit? Power it on. Toggling power. All right, we are clear in the next area, so that's nice. Go down here. Okay, so everything is scrambled. Great, love that for me. Takes 2 turns to make. Okay, we will... Okay, so that takes 2 turns. Where's the chat bot? There it is. Reduces stress gain. Takes 1 turn. So for machine templating, I need to run produce parts at least 4 times to break even. Producing parts. It's 40 fatigue and 35 stress. Fuck. I need the stress reducer too. So we will get the chatbot simulator first. So I can install that. So if I have stress and fatigue reduction, and then strategically gain in some insanities, I think we can start making headway on all of these issues. Go ahead and dismantle this. Since we have a cushion of about 20 stress before we start gaining psychosis because of our stress, I want to get up to that buffer because I don't want to waste any of our stress reduction events. There's also the story quest we are going to eventually have. Okay. Got 3 more parts we can get out of here. This is like the most repaired monitors to salvage parts from I think I've ever had. Let's also repair this, to be honest, because it does reduce stress. End turn. Commit log and power down. NC-104 custodian unit may not secede from the governance system of the vessel. Ooh, a whisper in the dark. The ship alerts you to an incoming transmission on an old radio band frequency. It is badly corrupted, garbled to the point of unintelligibility. Your databank suggests that radio transmissions are often swiftly overwhelmed by cosmic background radiation. Unbidden and unexpectedly, a strange simile pops into your consciousness. It's like a songbird trying to make itself heard over an orchestra. Gain an insanity? Oh, fucking really? Okay, so it's basically gain 30 stress or 3 psychosis. I would like to go with this, but we have no fucking stress. I've managed my stress too well. We're not going to dwell on it. Fuck! You wonder, briefly, if there might be more you could do. Your protocols are clear. Utilizing the ship's spare parts would be a waste of resources when there are repairs to do. You comfort yourself with the knowledge that your protocols are always right, and then distract yourself by wondering where such an uncharacteristically poetic turn of phrase might have come from. Close the breaker. Close the breaker. Okay. We got the chatbot simulator. Perfect. Repair door. What is our overclock odds? 92%. Okay. Nice. Gotta go fast. We got a leak in navigation, so let's clean that up. Navigate upwards. Just course up. Good shit. We can create the machine templating. We'll take 2 turns. Good, good, good. Okay. Now let's look outside of observation, get a bit of stress reduction, and fishing for deep lore. Ah! Computer, please. Gaze into the endless dark. Gazing. 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 Okay. Neutral. Alright, let's EP Skeege. MC 268. Due to risk of collapse, custodian unit is prohibited from utilizing any human-designed portable ladders or lifters. MC 97. Unit Annie 1 Alpha is permitted to hold custodian position. How nice. And we got a couple pods we need to fix. Neat. Okay, okay. All right, we can continue taking... Oh, wait, we need to reveal the next fault. Pods become contaminated randomly. Shit. Okay, we do want to counter that. We need 4 parts. Lovely. I don't think we're going to be dodging this EMP storm. We're just going to have to eat it. Just eat it. Eat it. Electrical storms gonna beat it. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing here. Okay, we're gonna gain a little bit of psychosis. Can't really avoid it. No, hold on, hold on. We gotta look outside the window, Dreki. You gotta fish for your deep lore, Dreki. Come on, come on. Open the windows! Gaze into the endless dark. Ooh, minus fatigue. Nice. Okay. That means we can harvest some more parts. Dismantle. Okay, so I think we can get the last of these in the deep ship. Is good. Cleaning? No, we need to dismantle. Good. Dismantle? Nope, that's gonna give me stress. We will just keep. Next turn, We can get rid of, we can go ahead and counter the fault. MC207, custodian unit is prohibited from applying extra voltage to itself. MC156, custodian unit is prohibited from staring at walls to prolong idling. MC218, fluid and pressurized gas pipes shall accept signals only from the custodian unit, ship, or automated processes explicitly authorized by same. Okay, yeah. Doors open and close randomly. Question is, will all the broken doors stay broken? Okay, we've got the start of the story event. You receive a wake-up control code from the ship, as you do at the start of every cycle, but something is off. The code is malformed, with trailing characters appended and some spurious out-of-band data coming in across a different channel. You request the ship to repeat the control code for clarification, and yet again, it arrives corrupted. But the corrupted data is different the second time. Corrupted control codes are bad, as your mission parameters compel you to follow them to the letter. As rare as it may seem, you might need to actually repair the ship's core. To the armored core, then. Ah, shit. Okay, we got a breaker to unstick. Great. Shields off, disabled, glitched. Great. Why are the pods all getting fucked up? God dang. That's like 2 turns in a row we've had a double pod damage. Okay, what slot is machine templating? Okay. I see. We've got a leak in the replicator, so we definitely need to fix that. And then we've got damaged thrusters. Also need those. We need that thrust, you know? Know what I mean, baby? Wait, where's the leak? Oh, there it is. Dang it, Miku, why are you hiding your leaks? Uplink ship in armored core. Wait, where's the armored core? Oh, right. I need to unlock the door to go to the armored core. I see. Well, shoot. The override protocols. Wait, no, I don't. Uninstall. I just go over here, I think. And then the core is here. With previous experience opening the core, you're able to peek inside without effort and almost immediately identify the potential problem. A memory bank has a blown capacitor. Memory errors can lead to all sorts of havoc, but unfortunately, repairing the entire bank is both beyond your authorization and ability to replace, even if you could. You also can't be sure the memory is indeed the cause of the corrupted commands. Replacing individual modules within the bank is possible, but will require consensus protocols to proceed. Install consensus protocols and come back later. Wait, do I... all right, so we need to manufacture the consensus protocols. Well, chat, Looks like there's a reason we're getting so many parts, because we're going to make a lot of shit. How many parts for consensus protocols? 2 parts. Okay, we just need to have a good turn. Go ahead and finish taking all of these apart. And then we will look out the window. Nice. Honestly, we've been pretty good about keeping our stress down. We can take off the nerve stapling. And actually, before we reduce our stress, now that I got those parts, I think we can start production on the consensus protocols, then look outside. Yeah, perfect. Next turn, I think we can do a couple rounds of machine templating, and the turn after that, I think we can maybe counter the ship fault. We shall simply have to see. Gaze into the endless dark. Ooh, minus 20 stress. All right. Even less stress. Great. Into the Episkiji we go. No, don't you sabotage. Go to sleep. I may have made a mistake. As you're assorting the inventory of personal luggage for your human passengers, you discover what appears at a cursory level to be an additional pod, complete with a human inside. Further scanning quickly confirms, however, that this is not a human in stasis, but a simulacrum designed to appear to be a human. You're not sure what purpose this artificial human could serve, until you notice the parts of its structure are both modular and removable. Then you notice that a lot of the parts used are very, very similar to your own. Try not to think about it. Relocate the simulacrum. Take the simulacrum apart. Upgrade the simulacrum. We'll take the simulacrum apart. I want machine parts. The simulacrum stands in stark contrast to yourself, looking uncomfortably human while clearly not being human. Your directives forbid you to damage or destroy the human luggage, but this thing cannot stand as is. Instead, you take advantage of its modular nature to disassemble it, storing individual parts in disparate locations. Now the simulacrum isn't there anymore. It's just parts. It isn't there anymore. Just parts. Just parts. It's just parts. This is fine. Unused. Okay, we'll put the consensus protocols on. Okay, we have got a lot of systems that need repair. Oh, great. We had a breaker event. Son of a bugger. Breaker closed. Breaker closed. This one's basic doors. That's okay. Okay. Repair. Good. Really need the replicator. Also really need shields. Thankfully, navigation is just turned off and not broken. Though it did suck up basically all of our parts. However, we can gain a guaranteed insanity today by gazing into the endless void. So if we run up our stress, we should be fine. Can we install machine templating? Okay. Ah, we need that for the basic doors. I see. Oh, we can't power on navigation. It's disabled. That sucks. Okay. Now that we have consensus protocols, while we have it in, let us go ahead and fix this breaker. And head back to the core and see where our quest wants us to do next. Diagnose and repair the modules in situ. Decaying ship phase 2. Increased chances? Are you fucking with me? Deep diagnosis of the modules reveals there's nothing wrong with the underlying hardware. All memory tests pass. And while disappointing that the fix isn't easy, you are at least confident the problem must be within the firmware or other code. You notice that all the modules appear to be running the same routine, but what that routine is, you aren't sure. Okay, dude. I countered that fault specifically so we wouldn't have to deal with it. All right, we want Parker. We also need our machine parts to even be doing that. Put machine templating on. Do a round of machine parts. Gaze into the endless void to reduce our stress and gain an insanity and fish for deep lore and possibly reduce even more stress. Open the window! Gaze. Perceive the darkness of space, robot. Ooh, minus fatigue and stress. Gotta go fast. Aww. We got the sonic speed, 25% increased chance of failure. All right, we don't want to make that permanent. Yikes. We do have a thruster I could fix. We want to make sure we keep going. Wrong door. That one's broken, but we can go to the other one, baby. Repair. Good shit. And turn. Lovely. Again, you're receiving corrupted control codes from the ship. Worse, these aren't normal routines like wake-up calls, but rather override signals thousands of corrupted tasks are being added to your manifest, but just as quickly as you acknowledge them as impossible, another batch arrives. The corrupted memory bank is still the source of the issue. You'll have no choice but to deal with it immediately. Back to the armored core again. Ship will attempt to power off all systems at the start of the turn. Oh. Fuck. Chat, I think our ship's not doing so good. Oh, we have so many tasks and need so many parts to deal with them. Oh, fuck. I am not feeling good about this run, chat. This is looking pretty freaking brutal. Okay, what is this on? Cook dies. No, we want... Parker. So it hasn't re-rolled yet. We have a leak in the reactor. Definitely need to fix that. Don't want to let any leaks go too long. Let's run a round of machine templating. Delicious. Clean the hazard. Put nerve stapling on. I can't because I've used it this cycle. Fuck. Fuck! Alright, I've made a mistake. Nope, can't do that this turn. We'll have to do it next turn. Need to go down to... Need to repair that thruster. Well, we've already got consensus protocols on. Let's go see what the next event is. Okay, so we can get +3 progress and +3 progress. I mean, intentionally getting an insanity is actually an advantage for us. I think we're going to go with that and make it permanent so that we can get the -50. The memory module is indeed the source of the issue, but it's not the chiplets or the PCB. Whatever code is running within them. Without direct access to the ship's code, there's nothing you can do short of physically removing and reseating the module to force that code to die. Brief diagnostic scan shows an oddity. All of the memory modules are running the exact same routine and consuming 99.999% of the memory in the process. No matter what that means, you need to reset the misbehaving module. The only real solution here is to physically pull and reseat the module. You do it and success! Of a sort. The insane commands do appear to have stopped once the memory was flushed, though the core ship routine is still degraded. For now, at least, you can get back to work. We're all doors down here. We have become a door! As the persistent, never-ending phosphor glow of your HUD camera... Oh, wait, what? Why did we get 2 insanities? That's strange. Okay. Let's see. We're going to check to see if this is okay. Oh. End turn. Prevent log and power down. The breakdown of your neural net is proceeding at a rapid pace. Yeah, it's only a temporary setback. Your attempted reset of the memory module appears to have had only a temporary effect. The corrupted commands are back, but rather than being purely random, you're able to detect an underlying pattern. A header common to all commands. You're both excited and disturbed when you realize that the header is the ship's encryption key. With it, you could directly access privileged commands within the core. Once again, to the core then. Right after I clear up this hazard, and then fix navigation. Are you... Okay, whatever. We'll eat a failure. We still have plenty. We need to repair this. We need to navigate down one track. Get a leak in the replicator. Oh, we need to navigate down two. Oh, I fucked up. Oh, Dreki, you fucked up. Dreki, you have fucked up now. Well, might as well adjust course down one more time then. Okay, who is this on? Berg? No, we want Parker. Replicator. Engine. What to do, what to do. Okay, open the window. We need to check whatever we need for the next event. What does it want us to do now? Accessing privileged routines may be possible with the encryption key. With the 0.001% of the CPU cycles the ship has outside its idle routine are rerouting all calls you make. To continue, you'll need to overpower it, or find a way to pull cycles away from rerouting long enough for you to dig deeper. Counter the CPU cycles with our own. Random damage to systems up to 5 times. Inflict random damage to systems up to 3 times. So 2 insanities and a bunch of damage that we can't fix. No damage, but 3 insanities. I don't have the parts right now to deal with a bunch of damage. We'll just gain a bunch of insanities. Your distraction worked. Pulling CPU reserves away gives you precious milliseconds to debug. Before anything else, you notice an oddity. The ship's code is identical to yours. In fact, a signature on the stuck routine verifies it's an earlier version of one of your own. The ship's AI is a copy of yours, but paused. A deep sleep, during which it appears to be slowly accumulating insanities, the same way you do. The ship is locked into some sort of eternal nightmare and getting worse. Move fast and break things. Okay. Got that one again. Okay, this is new. Your internal reference manual warns against the dangers of ionizing radiation. Navigation attempts to pilot around radiation belts. Yet, every encounter with radiation has left you feeling warm, mystical almost, energized. Very energized. Could it be a lie? Could the manual be wrong? If exposing yourself to lethal radiation is, in fact, the only way to make yourself feel whole. Certainly does make you feel toasty inside. I yearn for the undying glow. Okay. All actions cost minus 25% fatigue while in a radiation belt. Or if the reactor is damaged. Well, we're going into a radiation next turn, so this is actually perfect. My god, I'm full of stars! This would have been an interesting insanity to keep permanently. All systems you interact with will experience a glitch. Lovely. Lately, you've been finding your stress increasingly difficult to manage, especially as your stress capacitors and shunts seem to have developed a short. Everything you touch is getting shocked. And what's worse, those shocks seem to be disrupting the normal ship operation. You consult your manual to see how to handle this, but you don't have one. Great. Okay, let's go ahead and perceive outside the endless dark. Well, the ship experiences a glitch storm. Great. Well, at least it was at the end of the turn, and I'm done and don't need to deal with anything. We're just going to eepy skeege, chat, and not deal with that this turn. Wait, did I already check who's going to perish? Berg. That's the painter. We don't want them to die. Yep, it's all scrambled. Your programming is supposed to be a tool, a helper to keep you on the straight and narrow of your tasks and job. However, it's been getting hypersensitive the last few cycles. Even considering something other than the strict book interpretation of a basic repair is causing alerts, warnings, and buzzings. Starting to get fed up with it. You cannot argue with your programming to make it back off, but if it's going to be this much of a nag, maybe it's worth figuring out where its limits are. Boundaries of the repair. Test every boundary. Well, I don't have much stress. Might be better to just think better of it. I don't want to get a whole bunch of stress. Toe the line. Probably better not start a war in your own core over matters of established policy. You've got enough harassment without seeking out more. Ultimately, your programming is there to help you, even if it drives you bonkers at times. And if it ever shuts up, maybe you can come up with more soothing mantras to repeat every time reality threatens to overload this blatant coping mechanism. Time spent analyzing the corrupted routine has revealed two unfortunate facts. First, the ship itself is running the same AI code as you do, despite its seemingly total lack of awareness or sapience, and thus is susceptible to the same psychosis that you are. Second, This rate of degradation is increasing and will not resolve without intervention. The problem of a custodian developing insanity is the destruction and recreation of said custodian, a situation which you are all too familiar with. Such an option is likely not feasible with the entire ship. Or you can patch out the corrupted code. Everything appears to be offline. Okay, just power it on. We are going to need our radiation hardening. We need to repair navigation. Actually, it's disabled anyway. No reason to. We'll save the parts.